Hello, and what? Hello, and thank you for joining the 2020 United States Conference on HIV and AIDS Scholarship Webinar. I want to introduce you to our panels for today, our speakers and panels for today. So we have Joanna Lopez. Hello. So we have Joanna Lopez, the Associate Program Manager. She'll be talking about the 50 Plus Scholarship. We have Chip Lewis, the Communication Director. I'm sorry, let's do that again. So today we have Joanna Lopez, our Associate Program Manager. She'll be here talking about the 50 Plus Scholarship. We have Chip Lewis, the Communication Director. He'll be talking about the Social Media Fellowship. We have Charles Shazer. He'll be our Associate Program Manager. He'll be talking about the VEED Youth Program. And then myself, Shantae Gray, the Meetings and Registration Coordinator, and I'll be talking about Option A and Option B. Each presenter will go over the different scholarships. Please mute your lines, and we will answer questions at the end of the webinar. This year's scholarship will be in English and Spanish. If you have any problems with the webinar and any problems with the scholarship, I myself, Shantae Gray, will be the point person for all scholarships, and my email is sgray@nmac.org, and again, it's Shantae Gray. Please note, you can only apply to one scholarship this year. I know we have several categories, but you can only apply to one scholarship, and we can go, we'll dive deep into that in a little bit. However, we suggest that you go and you look at what each scholarship is offering, and you pick the ones that's near you, the ones that's that reaches out to you, that you feel like it's appropriate for you. So let's dive into this. Our agenda for today, we'll go over the application process, the type of scholarships, and that's general option A and B, HIV 50 plus strong and healthy, social media fellowship, the youth initiative, and then we'll talk about the timelines and deadlines and questions and answers. So I'll be going over, this is Shantae Gray once again, I'll be going over the option A and option B scholarship. As you can see on the screen, you apply at USCHA.life/scholarships. The description of each scholarship is listed on there. Sorry guys, we're having a little technical difficulties. Give us 1 second. So we're back and running. So each description of each scholarship will be on there. As I said earlier, please make sure you read each description before you pick which one you want to apply for, because you can only apply for one scholarship. Yes, it's going to be hard. Yes, it's going to be a lot of questions, but just know it's going to be worth it once you awarded the scholarship. Last year we had 1,800 applicants, 45 reviewers, and we awarded 325 scholarships. And this year it will be very similar, but I'm pretty sure we'll have like the 2,500 range of applicants. So let's go a little over the timeline. So the application, all applications for each one opens up on March the 3rd. It literally closes May the 8th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. May the 9th, May the 10th, we cannot help you. Please make sure that you do not miss the deadline. Unfortunately, we're not able to go back and open it up for one person or open it up for anyone. So once May the 8th get here, please make sure you jump back in there and submit your scholarship application. Last year we had a problem. We had so many incomplete applications. People forgot to hit the submit button. please make sure you hit the submit button and have a confirmation email once you submitted it. We will send out decisions after June the 15th, and the awarded responses is due back on July the 3rd. I want to also note that you cannot transfer a scholarship. You cannot give it to your coworker. You can't give it to your friend. You can't give it to anyone. You work very hard for the scholarship, and so the scholarship is awarded to you, and we are not allowed to give it to anyone else. So let's go over what's offered in option A and option B. So for option A, it's the same application, but option A offers one complimentary registration. And however, this is usually for people who come from larger organizations with bigger budgets, who necessarily don't need the whole funds or a full package to come to the conference, but they would like a complimentary registration. So I would suggest you guys to take option A. Option B is a little fuller scholarship. It comes with one complimentary registration. It comes with 2 nights at the USCHA hotel, October the 9th and October the 10th. And then it comes with a $100 gift card that goes towards travel. But you will only get the gift card once you come to the conference. So on this screen is how it looks when you're going in to apply for your scholarship. When you go to put your email in, another huge problem is emails. We always get questions, I don't have this email no more, or I actually didn't put in the wrong email. Please take your time and put the correct email in. It's very important. It's how we get in contact with you. It's how we follow up with you, and it's how we let you know that you've been awarded for a scholarship. Also, a lot of people switch jobs. They go to different places. If you switch the job, if you change emails, you always have time to contact us, and we can update your email address. But please note that it's very important that you have a good email. So going into the scholarship application, as you'll see on this page, the first part is you completing all your contact information, and you'll see the ones with the asterisks are the ones that definitely have to be filled out. So make sure you're answering all the questions, or it will not let you go to the next screen. The application dashboard. This page takes you to the next page after you finish your contact information. And the first part is just a scholarship applicant. It's just the regular, your name and everything that you filled out at first. And then the second part is the application questionnaire. Here's where you start your questions at. This page is just a printout of how it looks and how the scholarship questionnaires look. So just make sure. So this year, we did something. Hold on one second. All right, we're backing up. So this year is something different that we did. So this year we have a 50-word minimum. So any question that you see, it will say 50-word minimum. If you do not fill it out completely, your application will be considered incomplete. So please make sure you have a 2-month period to print out this application, this questionnaire, and have some time to work on it. So please take your time and fill it out, because we do not want any incomplete applications. So let's go over some of the questions that you will see on the option A, option B scholarship. Did you or your agency receive a scholarship to attend USCA in 2019? What is your organization budget? And if you do not have one, it's okay. We understand that. But if you do have one, please fill it out to the best of your ability. Describe what you plan to contribute and or learn by attending the 2020 USCHA conference. How long have you been working and advocating in the field? Briefly describe the types of aid services your agency provides. Describe what you plan to contribute and learn by attending the conference. And how will you apply what you learned at the 2020 USCHA once you return to your community? And all of these questions, most of these questions is a 50-word minimum to complete your application. So I want to go over a well-developed response. Okay. So we have Anthony here who will help us. Can you read? So Anthony is here who can help us read this. Describe what you plan to contribute and learn by attending the USCHA conference on AIDS. So can you give us the first response, Anthony?
I plan to use what I learned to better my community and teach the rest of my company what I've learned.
Okay, so that's the first response. And what you can see with this response is not enough information to make the viewer say, hey, let's go with this person. So let me show you guys a better response. Anthony, can you read the second one for us?
As an HIV coordinator currently leading our HIV prevention studies in Florida, I believe the United States Conference on AIDS will help me build up my advocacy and empowerment towards working with communities impacted by the HIV/AIDS epidemic. Considering the alarming figures that the HIV epidemic is showing in the southern states, it is crucial for me to learn from different experiences from around the country to learn more about fighting the epidemic. I would also like to share how we manage to work and empower underrepresented populations. Every day we work hard to give a voice to the community as well as educating them about concepts like PrEP, U=U, and new treatments. We want the community to learn about the crucial roles of research in ending the epidemic.
Excellent. So as you can see in this response, I would say A and B. B is a better response. It hits the 50-word minimum, and then it gives you some background on the community, where it's coming from, and what they'd like to see in the community. So when we're looking at, when our scholarship reviewers are looking at the answers, these are the type of answers that we're looking to see. Thank you, Anthony. All right. So as we said, and you'll hear this 1,000 times today, May the 8th is the deadline. Please make sure that you have your scholarship in. You do not have to submit it. You can work on it starting March the 3rd, and you can add as much information to it. And then you can come back and submit it by May the 7th, May the 8th. But please take some time out, give yourself some time to answer each question fully. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Joanna Lopez, and she'll be talking about the 50+ Strong and Healthy. Joanna?
Thank you, Shantae. My name is Joanna Lopez, and I'm an Associate Program Manager in the Treatment Division here at NMAS. So today I'll be going over the 50+ application process. So this program is a part of the Treatment Division's HIV 50+ Strong and Healthy program. Some brief background about the program is that with the realization that more than 50% of those living with HIV are 50 and older, the Treatment Division created a 50+ program dedicated to those people and those who are living with HIV. The program aims to promote awareness among service and healthcare providers about the issues people living with HIV face as they age. This program is composed of 5 main activities: participation at the United States Conference on HIV/AIDS. So applicants are introduced to the program at USCHA and meet other scholars and participate in the 50+ programming. Throughout the program year, we host 6 educational webinars. These webinars cover a range of topics like sexual health and HIV and aging, empowering older adults living with HIV to manage their health, and women with HIV and aging-related conditions. Scholars are required to attend all webinars or view the recording of the webinars. Scholars are also encouraged to apply to mini-grants or internships after USCHA. Mini-grants and internships are similar, whereas scholars receive funds to implement a program of their choosing, but mini-grants are usually awarded to first-time applicants. The last program activity are sponsorships. Scholars are encouraged to apply for sponsorships to attend at least one conference throughout the year outside of UCSH. Registration, hotel, and flight are covered throughout the sponsorship, and scholars are required to submit a written report. So who can apply? Basically, anyone who is 50 and older and living with HIV, or healthcare professionals who work with those 50 and older and living with HIV. Candidates must be affiliated with community-based organizations, healthcare providers, or health departments or support groups that work directly with people living and aging with HIV. Geographic diversity is important, and our program has a special focus on the South and urban regions where HIV disproportionately impacts communities of color. living and aging with HIV. We do encourage past HIV 50+ scholars to apply again as well, and scholarship applications are open to only U.S. residents and its territories. So what the HIV 50+ scholarship covers. So the scholarship covers 1 2020 USCHA registration, 4 nights at the conference hotel, a coach round ticket trip to San Juan, Puerto Rico, and per diem. We will award 50 scholarships with a limit of 1 scholarship per agency. If you are accepted to the scholarship, you also are accepted into the HIV 50+ program. So you are required to attend all conference special 50+ programming as well as any special activities designed for the 50+ scholars and people living and aging with HIV. Scholars are also expected to stay engaged with our HIV 50+ Strong and Healthy program throughout the next year and participate in the various activities like the mini grants, internships, and sponsorships. So now I'll walk you through on how to apply for an HIV 50+ scholarship. You will apply using the same link, uscha.live/scholarships. After you complete the general demographic part of the application, you will return to the application dashboard to complete the HIV 50+ portion of the application. So these are the questions that are available on the HIV 50+ application. They ask questions including whether you've received a scholarship to attend USCHA last year, the type of organization you work in, and their mission statement. The remaining questions include the types of services offered by your organization's mission statement, and how long you've been working or advocating in the HIV field. These are also additional questions, and please make sure to be thorough in your responses. We are considering applicants who do take a lot of time and consideration in their responses. So after you complete that portion, please make sure to return to the dashboard and click Submit. Your application will not be complete unless you click Submit. So applicants who apply to the HIV 50+ scholarship are reviewed by a committee that is tasked with scoring the submitted applications based on HIV status or service healthcare providers working with this population, age, gender, geographic location, race, ethnicity, and sexual orientation. So again, the deadline is the same as the general scholarship. May 8th at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is the deadline to apply for the HIV 50+ scholarship. So now we'll turn it over to Chip.
Hi everyone, this is Chip Lewis, Director of Communications here at NMAC, and I'm happy to be here to tell you more about the Social Media Fellowship this year. The Fellowship is a fairly new program for us, where we bring social media fellows to USCHA and ask those fellows to use their networks and platforms to help spread the word about the conference and HIV/AIDS prevention, care, and treatment. Past fellows have been active on platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and other platforms, and some even have their own podcasts. They've come and recorded episodes at USCHA. So basically, any kind of social media platform you had, we can accommodate. During the conference, fellows will be asked to report on conference activities. They can do things like post photos or video of the conference, interview attendees and presenters and speakers. Whatever creative ideas you can come up with, we can likely accommodate. The goal is to reach audiences that may not hear a lot of HIV/AIDS messaging and are unfamiliar with concepts like PrEP, U equals U, and what they can do to help end the epidemic and what's going on in their own communities. So this can also be a powerful tool to fight stigma, particularly in audiences that are unfamiliar with the current state of the epidemic. So this is a very big responsibility and job we're asking of the social media fellows who attend. And the fellowship does not end with the conference. Social media fellows are also called upon to help with NMAC's social media strategy, for takeovers of NMAC's social media platforms during the year, or to help teach other NMAC constituents how to use social media for advocacy and education. So what we're looking for in there are typically our applicants who have a large following on their social media platforms, who could be considered social media influencers to some degree. An HIV background is not required for this. In fact, in some ways, not having an HIV background can actually be an advantage in your application, because you're more likely to have people in your networks who have not heard HIV messaging before. The fellowship, you go through the fellowship application process the same as all the others at uscha.live/scholarships and choose the social media fellowship option. You get one registration to the conference, 4 nights at the conference hotel, and coach round trip flight to San Juan for as part of your fellowship. There is no per diem for the social media fellowship. And the deadline for social media fellowship applications is the same as all the rest, May 8th, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And now I think we have Charles on the line to talk about the Youth Initiative.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Charles Shazer. I am an Associate Program Manager at NMAC's Training Center to End the HIV Epidemic. And I'm just going to give you all a bit of information on our Youth Initiative, who was sponsored by NMAC, Advocates for Youth, and our headliner, ViiV Healthcare. All right, so just a quick Youth Initiative overview. The 2020 Youth Initiative is a 9-month program that will provide young people with the opportunity to be a voice for young people in HIV leadership through community awareness and engagement in the creation of a World AIDS Day event. The 2020 Youth Initiative will provide youth with a seasoned mentor for additional program and training support. Through this process, youth will gain tangible benefits and true leadership development in the HIV field to be used to enhance education, advocacy, and overall community awareness. Just some quick key components of Youth Scholars. We'll be looking for you to be available for conference calls and webinars, be willing to learn and administer a youth community needs assessment. This needs assessment is actually what we'll use to create the ideas to base your World AIDS Day events on. So this is a very important piece. We also are looking for you to partner with local HIV prevention care organizations to support youth in your local community. Be available and willing to devote 4 days for an on-site training in October 2020 at USCHA. Also work with NMAC and partners in coordination of follow-up mentoring and coaching support. And lastly, be willing to partner and work in teams with other youth and youth leaders. All right, just some quick requirements for the Youth Initiative. Each scholar must be between the ages of 18 and 25, and that is by October 10th, 2020. So we know that there may be some people who are on that pushing line, but you would have to be 18 at the very youngest, and the date would be October the 10th. Also, you're required to submit and complete the application. You are also required to turn in a 250-word bio and headshot to be published within 10 days of your acceptance letter. And also, you are required to complete an assessment within 10 days of accepting, of your acceptance letter via SurveyMonkey. All right, and to complete these requirements, each scholar is required to conduct the needs assessment again between June 15th and September 1st of 2020. We will walk you all through how to do that process. Also, each scholar is required to develop a World AIDS Day social action project based on the community needs assessment outcomes. And those outcomes will be to you by October 15th at the very latest to begin your planning and initiating hopefully by December 1st, but we give a leeway to December 15th, depending on your location for impact. Also, each scholar is required to identify at least one community partner to work with for this social action project. Each scholar is required to participate in monthly webinars, and each scholar is required to travel to the in-person training that's being conducted during the USCHA conference, October 10th through the 13th, 2020. What you will get as a result of your application acceptance for the Youth Initiative, we cover one 2020 USCHA registration. You'll have 4 nights at our conference hotel, but our rooming situations are shared for our youth. So what we try to do is make sure we can align the roommates based upon their social identity. And you will also receive a coach round trip ticket to San Juan, Puerto Rico. And we do offer per diem for our youth. We want to make sure that the trip is as cost effective as possible. So we want to make sure, as far as ground transportation, food, things of that nature, that our youth are able to eat while on site, regardless of what's being offered during plenary sessions and things. And I think that's about it for the offers. Sounds pretty good to me, but that's it. Again, just like the rest of the applications, they will all be due on May 8th, and that's at 5 p.m. Pacific time. And again, it'll be the same timeline of March the 3rd, the applications will open, May 8th for the deadline, decisions to be sent by June 15th, and your response will be needed no later than July 3rd of 2020.
All right, so thank you guys. So that's all of our programs that we offer for the scholarship. So I want to go over a couple of tips for success. Please make sure, as I stated before, that you have well-written responses. Give yourself some time to write your responses. Like I said, we open up on March the 3rd, and we don't close till May the 8th, so you have a good time period to have printed things out, have a couple of people read your responses before submitting, and then make sure, last but not least, answer all questions. Take time out and just make sure you answer all of the questions. However, you will not be able to submit your application unless they're all are answered. The deadlines, as you can see, each program, VEED Youth Initiative, the General Scholarships Option A and B, Social Media Fellowship, and HIV 50+, the deadline for all of them is May the 8th. Also, on your application, be authentic. The scholarship reviewers, they want to know a little bit about you. They want to know a little bit about what you're doing in the community. They want to know how you can help our community. So please be very authentic when you're doing your application. So now we're going to open it up for questions and answers. I know I can see the questions streaming through already. So we're going to try to get through as many as possible in the time that we have. Any follow-up questions, you can email me at gray@nmac.org. Shante Gray. I will be able to answer any questions that we will not be able to get to today. So Chip is going to go ahead and get started.
Okay. Will you be awarded a scholarship if you received one last year?
So it's possible that you can be rewarded a scholarship if you received one last year. However, we give preference to people who never received a scholarship.
If I am part of the 50+ scholars, do I have to complete the scholarship A or B, or is it something else?
If you are an HIV 50+ scholar now, you are eligible to still apply for the HIV 50+ scholarship this year. But again, you can only choose one. So you'll either choose to apply for 50+ or A or B.
Why are all the hotel nights not being covered this year for the conference?
So for option A and B, have you been a part of the MAC scholarship? Last year was our first year doing it for the whole night, but this year we decided we want more scholars to come. And so we go to the budget, we only could offer 2 nights, and that's only for option B. Only option B.
If you are not working for an agency, will questions be different?
No, the questions will still be same. We'll want to hear what you're doing in the community or what you're doing to volunteer.
On the 50-word minimum, will the page let the person know if you are under the minimum?
It will not let you know.
I am 49, a peer navigator, and run groups that are 50+. Is there any flexibility with applying?
Yes, of course, there's flexibility. If you're just a few years or a couple years off, that won't hurt you negatively.
What does per diem mean on the HIV 50+ option?
So we follow the federal guidelines for per diem. So if you look at the GSA rates on their federal government website and what you're allotted each day, we follow those and give that to our scholars.
How are you going to prepare for a Spanish language speaking area that will offer this conference?
I didn't understand.
There's a question about the language barrier in Puerto Rico, since it's predominantly Spanish speaking.
So what's the question?
How are you going to prepare for a Spanish language speaking territory that will offer this conference?
MAC, or are they talking about MAC, or are they talking about?
I think they're talking about the conference.
So the conference in general will be in Spanish and English. Just like any other time, we will have some translation there.
Is it okay to have several members from an appropriate agency to apply with the understanding only one may get a scholarship under any of the scholarship options?
Absolutely.
What about the concept of HIV long-term survivors and aging with HIV? There's going to be a lot of programming around those two issues at this conference, so there will be a lot of talk about that. Option B only covers 2 nights, correct?
Yeah.
Let's see. Does the person have to be living with HIV to apply for this scholarship?
No.
Is there a per diem for 50 plus strong and healthy?
Yes, there is.
I received an option B scholarship last year, but had to cancel due to Hurricane Dorian closing local airports. Can I apply again this year?
So yes, you can apply again this year.
That's a long one.
How do you select scholarships? Because you're for social media, I've never been selected. Scholarships are a blind review, correct?
Yes.
So there are a number of reviewers who look at all the scholarship applications. We do not see any names or any personal information about the applicants. It goes strictly just based on the score that we give. So there is no favoritism given to certain names or certain, so it's strictly a blind review.
Yeah. And its review is, we have outside reviewers.
Are scholarship options A and B location-based? Are they affected if we relocate?
So they're not location-based. You could be anywhere, but you do have to pay for your own flight to and from the conference.
Considering the event being in San Juan, will there be a preference for strong Spanish-speaking applicants?
Now there won't be a preference. Nice job, now.
Heard someone say it was 1 scholarship per organization. I think it's one scholarship application per person, correct?
Yes.
Yes. So multiple people in an organization can apply. It's just each person can only apply for one type of scholarship.
Yes.
For 50 plus, it's different. We don't tend to award 2 scholarships to one agency. So for 50 plus, that's exceptional.
And I think that's for all of them. It's only 1 scholarship per agency.
One scholarship per agency. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, my bad.
It's okay. No problem.
For 50 plus, is there a minimum word number like the 50 minimum?
Yes, that's for all applications.
No, you cannot apply to multiple scholarships. Will we receive an email containing information on what was discussed, including the scholarships? I'm assuming you're meaning for this webinar. The recording of the webinar will be available on the USCHA website and the YouTube channel probably tomorrow.
Okay.
Is there a general reason that general registration is only 2 days covered?
So general registration is covered the entire time. So once you get once you awarded, registration is for the entire time. You may be referring to option B for the hotels. You only get 2 nights.
Let's see, more than one person be awarded the same organization? No.
Okay.
Janice, we'll get back to you offline about that. Does an applicant have to be associated with an agency, or is it open to clients?
It's open to clients. It's open to everyone.
Yeah.
Charles, this is one for you. Is there a cutoff age for the youth initiative?
Yes, the youth initiative cuts off at the age of 25.
What are the general review categories for scholarships? Pedro, can you give us a little more clarifying question there, because we're not sure exactly what you mean on that. We'll come back to that. Slides will be available later. Yes, recording will be available online tomorrow. Look for it on the USCHA website or the NMAC YouTube channel. Their preference for applicants that are living with HIV.
So it's no preference.
If it's social media scholarship, the content is risque, but the following is large, will that work against getting a scholarship for that category? Not necessarily. We last year had a social media scholar who was who worked in, we'll say, racy media, and he received a fellowship. So not necessarily. We'd have to take that on a case-by-case basis. Someone received a scholarship 3 years ago. Is the award chance the same as someone that was awarded a year ago?
So it's no difference. You can very well receive a scholarship. However, we give preference to people who have not received a scholarship.
How many social media fellows we selected? We typically each year select 18. When do the abstracts need to be in?
Not sure. This is based on scholarship only webinar.
Yeah. There'll be a webinar in March on the abstract submission process. Are there outside scholarships from outside agencies such as Gilead?
It may be, but we don't know at this time.
Why is there no per diem for social media? That's due primarily to the budget for the program. But I will say that social media fellows, lunch is served for all attendees. So you will have lunch there, and social media fellows in their early meeting do typically get breakfast. So you do, as a social media fellow, you do typically get 2 meals a day provided to you. Do scholarships A and B have a roundup ticket included? Is there a per firm allowance?
So no, there's no round trip airfare with option A or option B.
Would I be able to apply for the youth initiative even though I attended last year? Charles?
Yes, so for the youth initiative, we have a 2-year maximum. So if you attend 1 year, then you're able to attend for a second year as well. But you would just still the general application process still.
Similar question before. I'll be 49 June 30th. You can still apply for the 50 plus.
Yes.
If you're awarded scholarship B, only getting 2 nights, am I responsible for making arrangements for the rest of the conference?
Say it again.
Sure. If you're awarded scholarship B, only getting 2 nights, am I responsible for making arrangements for the rest of the conference?
Yes, you are. And you'll have that information in your award package.
Can you apply for more than 1 scholarship type? No, you cannot. Are there any exemptions for the youth scholarship individuals over 25 who works with youth exclusively, Charles?
No, so the seasoned mentors that we use for the youth initiative, they are all returning participants. So just say they were youth initiative members from 2016. Those will be the people that have aged out of the general category, but I will bring those people back to be mentors in the current year to make sure that they can add value to the World AIDS Day project and just the general mentorship of youth development in general.
I think we have some more of these age questions. I'm not 50, but I'm living with HIV/AIDS for 25 years. I am aging. Can I apply for 50 and older scholarship?
Yes.
I'm 50 now. Do you recommend I apply for option B or 50 plus?
It depends if you want to stay involved in the program. If you just want to go to UCA, I would suggest you just apply to option B. But if you want to stay involved with 50 plus programming, then I'd suggest the 50 plus scholarship.
Can you please briefly review the general scholarship?
Sure. So option A scholarship is a complimentary registration. That's it. It's just registration. Option B is complimentary registration, 2 nights at the hotel, and $100 per diem.
What are the dates again?
October the 10th through the 13th.
I'll get a copy of these slides. Yes, the recording will be available probably tomorrow online on the USCHA scholarship page of the website and on NMAC's YouTube channel. I'd say look for it midday or into the afternoon tomorrow. What is the host hotel?
The Sheraton. We have several hotels. It's the Sheraton, it's the Hilton Caribe, and we may have 2 more hotels.
I think so. I'm not 50, living with HIV for 20 years. You can apply for 50 plus. Yes, you can. For the social media scholarship, will there be an option for those that wish to develop a better social media presence future? Yes. If you are getting started and you want to learn more about how to do social media, you'll be in a setting where you have people who are more experienced, so you can learn from them. So yes, absolutely. Is there a push for more trans male scholarship applicants? Do they have to be positive to apply?
So it's, overall, we want everyone. No special categories.
Mm-hmm. And you don't have to be positive to apply for scholarship?
No, absolutely not.
For the youth initiative, can the person be affected, Charles?
No, the youth initiative is an open call for all advocates who are in the youth range. So we do encourage people who are living with HIV to apply, but it is not a requirement for the program.
Would like to confirm it'll be just one scholarship per agency? Yes.
Yes.
One
Yes.
scholarship per agency.
Yes.
Again, my apologies for the confusion earlier. There are per diem allowance for option B.
So it's $100 per diem.
If you register early to a hotel, will scholarship recipients be reimbursed for 2 nights?
Yes. They will not be reimbursed. They can either take off the 2 days or they'll get a credit.
Okay. How many followers are needed on social platforms for social media fellowship? We don't have any hard and fast rules about or numbers on how we determine who gets a fellowship, because some of our folks are coming in who are new or may want to learn more and may not have a big followership. But we will take the number of followers someone has on a case-by-case basis. I'm 36, I've worked 50 plus. Can I do the 50 plus scholarship?
Sure.
My organization is both regional and national. My region covers 4 states. Will that still be considered one organization?
Good question.
Will email me at sgray@nmac.org and I'll get that answer for you.
Mm-hmm. That's SGRAY@NMAC.
That's correct.
Mm-hmm. How many scholarships will be awarded to individuals who have received scholarships before?
We don't do a basis on that.
Are there any scholarships that are trans-specific?
No.
Not right now.
Is attending the seminar an added bonus?
No. It is an added bonus. Now you know how to complete your scholarship. It is.
Exactly.
In a scholarship application, how are scholarships being awarded a point system? What review categories is it? Content, experience, material, contribution?
That's for our peer review. Our reviewers do that. We don't know it at this point.
Is there a preference for Black women of trans experience?
No.
Yeah, we do encourage everyone to apply.
We encourage everyone.
Would you like to be a large following for social media fellowship? We'd have to look at each applicant's individual followings and to see not only what the numbers are, but how engaged their followers are as well. So we'll take it on a case-by-case basis. Well, the 50 plus scholarship pays for only 2 nights. We'll be here and see enough information and able to afford to stay for 4-day conference. But the 50 plus covers 4 nights.
Yeah, the 50 plus scholarship covers all 4 nights at the conference. If you're asking about the option B, how they will pay for the other 2 nights.
So once you get your confirmation, those who are awarded will receive a confirmation email, and they'll receive information with their hotel reservation number. You can call and extend it and get the 2 days, or you can give us the information and we can extend it, and we'll credit 2 nights to your room. And then when you check out at the hotel, the other 2 nights will be for you to pay.
Can an individual apply for a scholarship and submit an abstract?
Yes.
Are the 2 days covered the option B scholarship pre-selected, or the awarded person choose what 2 days they will attend?
So it's not clear yet, but it looks like they'll be able to pick which 2 days they will want.
Charles, this is a youth question. If you've received 2 youth scholarships before, is there a way to come back as a mentor?
Yeah, so there is a way to come back as a mentor. Anyone who has been in the youth initiative essentially since 2016, I've been a part of it. I still have the same email address, CSHAZOR@nmac.org. If you've been a part of the youth initiative and you're interested in returning, you can just reach out to me directly and I can forward you any details I have around that.
All right. Charles, we got another youth question here. I'm 27 and work with youth. Can I still apply for the VVU scholarship?
At the age of 27, excuse me, no, you wouldn't be able to apply, but if you work in those services, then hopefully you can give us a great recommendation of someone for programming.
Can anyone apply for the general scholarship?
Absolutely. We ask that everyone apply for the general scholarship.
Deadline time Eastern Pacific, that's Pacific.
Pacific.
5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
Charles, another youth question. I will be 26 before October 10th. Will I still be able to apply for my second year with the Youth Initiative?
Yes, so for your acceptance into the programming, during the application, we can't penalize you for turning 26 on the 9th of October. So, I mean, if you are within the age range of the time of your application, then we won't hold that against you, but you cannot be over the age of 26 walking in to this application process.
How will you ensure that people living without HIV attend the conference and getting zero new people living without as well?
Say that again.
How will you ensure that people living without HIV attend the conference and getting to zero we need people living without HIV as well?
So we scan all our scholarship applications, and we make sure we get a good percentages of all walks of life.
Do we have to pay a registration fee?
Not if you receive a scholarship.
Charles, if you are a block graduate, will it help the application?
Any kind of programming, as far as connection with NMAC, for me, that always holds some kind of value, because we want to do reinvestment in the community. However, it's not a guarantee, and you will still have to be within that same age range of 18 to 25.
So as a prevention specialist, I qualify 50 plus because we offer services to that population?
Yes, you have to have a specific HIV and aging program.
Will we have to pay airfare?
If you option B and option A, you will have to pay your own round trip airfare to and from San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Is there a special rate for rooms?
Yes, there's. If you look on our website, all the information about the hotels is on there.
Charles, can you repeat your email?
Yes, it's the letter C, and then my last name, which is SHA, Z as in zebra, OR, @nmac.org.
Can you repeat the third question back? I'm not sure which question that is at this point. So, roughly how much would it cost for the 2 days and nights for the 50 plus program?
Well, it doesn't cost anything if you're accepted into the HIV 50 plus program. We cover the full conference registration, per diem, and travel. I think you might be referring to the option B. Roughly how much would it cost for the 2 nights?
So the hotel room is between $179 to $199 a night. So you will have to factor that in for the other 2 nights.
Okay. So are we able to reapply if we've been part of 50 plus?
Hi, Janice. Yes, you're able to reapply.
Okay, that's all the questions we've received so far. Anybody else have any more? Going once, going twice.
All right, so thank you again for joining the USCHA conference on scholarship. And if you have any questions, you can email us at conferences@nmac.org. If you have any specific questions, you can reach out to us individually, and that's Chip, Lewis, Joanna Lopez, Charles Shazier, and Shante Gray. This webinar will be posted online starting tomorrow, so you can catch the webinar. And then also, if you go on our website today, you can figure out which scholarship you should be applying for. All the information is on our website now. Once again, we do not open up the scholarship process until March the 3rd, and May the 8th is the deadline. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing all of you guys in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Have a great night.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye. Thank you.